If you're offering a recurring service, that's amazing because demand is recurring. That means you can get a stable MRR. That makes it attractive for a lot of business owners like yourself, but the problem is things become competitive very soon. And prospects start shopping around for the service provider they can lock in with, because the thing is, since demand is frequent, they can't keep hunting for somebody new every single time. They'd rather lock in with somebody and just stick with them. So we're going to look at how marketing can help us be the ones that they lock in with. I'm Irshad, partner at Dropkick Copy. We are Olympic level direct response marketers, World Federation champions. We've touched all levels of the funnel, but it's the bottom of the funnel and retention that interests us the most. In the description box below, there is a link you can watch my partner interview our past clients, but first, watch the rest of this video. So these recurring services, the niche, it gets saturated fast because it's attractive. A lot of people come in, a lot of vendors, suppliers, service providers come into this niche, gets saturated fast. The prospects, the leads, they start looking at things as interchangeable and they start filtering for price, really. But you kind of want to avoid that, right? You don't want to be in a price war. So this is an issue. The correct response to this is to obviously prove that your service is not interchangeable, and the method that everybody uses is, they start trying to specialize. Try to specialize by client type, the clients they serve, by the service focus or industry vertical, whatever it is. It's the people start positioning themselves as specialized. So for example, an IT company that only solves cybersecurity problems, an accountant that only handles restaurants, a marketing and advertising service that only deals with SaaS businesses, right? The other thing to consider is that since it's a recurring service, prospects are trying to filter for people that they will know, like, and trust. This is a marketing principle, I think coined by somebody called Bob Burg. Know, like, and trust. The saying goes that people will buy from you and recommend your business to other people if they know, like, and trust you. But if you think about this a little bit, you need to expand this, because people need to really just know you well enough to try you out the first time. They need to know you. They don't necessarily need to like you. They just need to know you and trust that you know what you're doing. But the trust is not proven until they try you out for the first time. So really it becomes more like a trust, know, and like kind of principle. So they need to know you well enough to give you a chance. When you get a chance, you have to win their trust. Once you win their trust, you'll work with them more and more. Then they get to know you. As they get to know you and you get to know them, then they might get to like you, but it's not a necessity. If they like you, it's good. That means, and you like them, that means you're like working with each other. The retainer stays going on for longer. Plus, as you get to know each other more, you'll get to know what needs you can service outside of the initial need. So there's this kind of know, like, and trust thing that you kind of have to factor in to your marketing as well. So how do you market this type of business? Well, what are the marketing messages? You'll derive marketing messages from the service differentiation you're trying to make. Remember that you're trying to let people know that your service is not interchangeable with others. So first you got to differentiate the service that you provide. Service differentiation influences marketing messages. Also the value you provide. If you can demonstrate you're providing a different type of value than anybody else, that's going to influence your marketing messages. Also the customer experience or the relationship that people will have with you. That's a differentiator, right? Remember, people are trying to know, like, and trust you. So the relationship matters. That's going to influence marketing messages. Also, the technology you use or the innovation that you have, the innovativeness of your solution, this is going to differentiate you as well. Keep in mind that because it's a recurring service need, if there's a technology integration involved, the cost of switching increases as people work with you more. It starts becoming hectic for them to switch out to another service provider because they spent most of their time working with you and everything's been integrated. Right? So these are all important differentiating factors. The other thing you want to look at is obviously how to qualify the leads. It's similar to a project-based service business. You're trying to qualify a lead. Then there's a book a call process, right? And you can't just service everybody because you have, like a project-based business, you have capacity limitations, right? So you want to qualify for the best people, the people with the budget, with the how do you say, the maturity of the business such that you can grow with them. If there's certain businesses you could serve where you can serve them in multiple different ways as long as you get their trust and know about their business. A lot of other opportunities open up. Contrast that versus working with a smaller business where you're just serving one need. You can make more money with business A than business B, right? So there's a necessity to filter for all of that type of thing. So lead qualification matters, and the lead qualification requirements are going to influence your marketing messaging as well. Where are the leads dropping off? What are the deal breakers? All of that. You want to filter people out so that by the time that they're booking a call with you, you're getting the best possible people coming at you, right? And then there's also this aspect of lead scoring. Certain leads are better than others. So keeping a lead score and prioritizing certain leads of others matters too, right? The other thing is that, this general deal management, let's say. So, sometimes, again, it's like project-based business. You will not have capacity. Rather than, it's got the same problem. If you turn people away, they're going to get on a retainer with your competitor. And once they're on a retainer, they're going to be locked in with that person. Developing a relationship, knowing and liking and trusting them. Switching them out to work with you is harder. So you have this awkwardness. You don't want to let them go. What you can do, if your marketing is working and you get them to book a call with you, you want to get them on a nurturing list. You want to capture some sort of contact detail from them, email or phone number, and keep in touch with them. Offer some value in a list and hit them up in a, regular routine intervals. See how they're doing, right? And let them know that you're available, you're always available, and you're still successful, you're thriving, you're solving people's problems, etc., etc. If capacity opens up, you can let them know. If you have a special offer, you can let them know, right? There's a chance that they might have worked with your competitor and they're not happy for whatever reason. If you actually find out the flaws of your competitors and you articulate that in your messaging, you can possibly convert people to try you out again. That's, that type of thing is possible. Sometimes people work with you and they churn out. They pause the retainer. They call it pausing, but they just stop working with you, right? You can win them back. It's happened to us. People have paused our retainers and then come back to work with us. Sometimes much, much later. They recognize that our services are actually quite good. We were outperforming some of the in-house people at some points, right? Or they get us on because there's a seasonal offer they want to put out, and they don't want to trust anybody else with it because the guys that they worked with, they weren't so good. So they come back to us. The only reason they're able to come back to us is because we've kept them in the loop. We've been nurturing them, right? Usually at the lower level, in the list level, email list level and such, right? That type of thing matters. That type of thing is going to influence your marketing messaging. The other place to derive your marketing messages from is the meetings that you have or had in the past. In doing those meetings, you'll come to understand the common obstacles and doubts that need to be resolved before people get on a retainer with you. Before they even get on a retainer with you, they need to book that call. You also need to then make the booking a call with you seem frictionless and easy, right? So marketing messages, all the kind of direct response tactics that you use drive towards the call, and they clear any doubts that the prospect might have before they get in the call as much as possible. That way you're getting somebody who's more likely to say yes because there's less hurdles in the way, less hurdles that you need to get over before they agree to get on a retainer. So you can work backwards from the meeting to discover marketing messages as well. The other thing you can work backwards from is the actual offer that you put in front of them. Because what is the offer? You're trying to get them on a retainer, right? So the retainer has to look appealing. If you try to put them on a retainer in the past and they've said no, understanding why they said no will influence your marketing messages. But generally, you're trying to push them towards getting it on this retainer, right? So you have to raise the profile of this retainer. You have to make it look interesting. So how you do that is your marketing messages should talk about how working with you over a long period of time makes the most sense because of XYZ reason. For example, like in SEO. SEO is not a quick fix thing. You need to work with the SEO team for a long period of time to see the results. So that's naturally, it makes sense to be on a retainer. That's what you got to put out there, right? So emphasizing the value accumulation over time makes sense. Emphasizing the cost savings and other types of benefits over time makes sense, right? Comparison charts of what it would be like if you worked with us for a short time versus a long time, those things matter. That's going to be good marketing material. You can also highlight with case studies and testimonials how other people like them have worked with you in the past and enjoyed benefits, right? That also promotes the retainer. And you're trying to get them on a retainer, but they might be hesitant to give you a try, right? So there's that initial hurdle of trying you for the first time. You want to get over that. You can possibly get over that by creating a performance based arrangement. You can say, look, you don't pay us till we perform, but once we perform, once you try us one time, we can get on a retainer. Understand? So that's addressing this kind of trust, know, like kind of thing that I talked about earlier. And the kind of final thing is, you not make yourself seem interchangeable. How do you do that? Well, if you've seen I don't know if you've seen the value stick diagram. Basically, it describes how people have a price, an amount that they're willing to pay, and you need to price your service according to that. The difference between what you're pricing it at versus what they're willing to pay is the value they capture. So if they're willing to buy something for $1,000 and you sell it for $800, that $200 is the value they capture. That's what makes it a good deal. So when you're trying to promote your services as being valuable, you're trying to raise the amount that they're willing to pay for what you're doing, right? So how do you do that? You talk about the benefits rather than the features, the outcomes rather than the deliverables. Why benefits and features? Why? Because it puts the focus on them. It makes a story about them, how they'll feel, what the experience will be like for them, what the outcome is, so they can picture what it's like after they work with you, right? If they get caught up thinking about the features and deliverables alone, then you become you're interchangeable with everybody else, because everybody has more or less the same features and the same deliverables. However, you can still demonstrate value through your features and deliverables if you use it to show expertise and authority. When you talk about the details and why certain features exist and why certain deliverables are made and how they're made, that shows the nuance of your understanding, your domain knowledge, right? That type of thing helps. It helps raise the perceived value of what you're offering too. So they might be willing to pay more. The other thing you want to do, again, social proof, show that other people have used you and found success, case studies, testimonials, reviews, all that stuff. Outside of that, you can use pricing tactics to raise your value. So, for example, you can offer a premium service at a premium price and show them, look, all of this value that we're providing to you, it's worth a lot of money. But then for you, I'm going to give you a discount. So you can anchor the value of things in their mind with a number, a high number. And then when you discount it, it makes the discount seem appealing. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get them to pay $1,200, anchor it at $1,400 and then discount it. So you know what I mean? So that they pay $1,200, that type of thing. Or you can again put the premium offering with the high price out there, but create a tiered offer. But there's a middle offer and a really, really low offer. So you can decrease the scope of what you're offering, and they're most likely, statistics have shown, they're most likely to pick the middle one. Right? So if you're trying to get them to pay $1,200, keep a $1,400 kind of solution, offer them $1,200, and then like a $1,000 one. They're most likely going to choose the $1,000. That's called $1,200. That's called anchoring. So you want to use price anchoring techniques, tactics, to when you're trying to push your value up, then raise what they're willing to pay. Other thing you can do is like say, look, I understand that you want to pay $1,000, but if you pay $1,200, we'll bundle in all these other extra sort of services with it, some add-ons. Let us know what you think. That's called value stacking. So these are the kind of things you want to do. So that's a pricing tactic that you have to consult with your finance people and your business development people to see if that's even possible. But if it is possible, that's going to create the opportunity for new marketing messages for you to push out there. Now ultimately it's going to make your offer convert more. All right, so these are the things that you need to be doing. To conclude, let me just state that you're not fixed to one type of service frequency, you're not fixed to one type of pricing model. Businesses are trying to service all types of needs. They're trying to service project-based needs, also on-demand needs. You know, they're trying to be project-based, recurring, anything that they can. If they can service, they service, right? So you just got to know what the marketing deliverables are derived off of. This is why I phrased it this way. The marketing deliverables will be derived off of the offer you put in front of people and the pricing model you have. The moment you change the offer and the pricing model, the deliverables, the marketing messaging changes. All right, so that's all you got to know. You got to know what you're doing, what you're offering, and then just work backwards from there. Work backwards from the meeting you have. Work backwards from the leads you're trying to generate and the qualification you're trying to achieve. That's it. Check out the other videos I have on this topic on services. There's 4 in this series I've made. Check them out, and that's it. Take it easy.